Okay, in question number 9, we have to find the value of k. If x plus 1 is, this is a factor of the given polynomial. They are saying this is a factor of the given polynomial. If this is a factor, means remainder in this case is equal to 0. One example I am taking, if two number I am taking, suppose I'll divide this 25 by 5. 5 5s is 25, remainder in this case is 0. So we can say 5 is a factor of 25. Okay. If they are saying this is a factor, means remainder in this case is equal to 0. So we can write, because x plus 1, this is a factor, therefore x plus 1 is equal to 0, x is equal to minus 1, remainder will be f of minus 1 in this case, and remainder is equal to 0 because it is a factor. Therefore, f of minus 1 is equal to 0. In place of s, because here they have written px, so I am writing here p of minus 1. Okay. Given polynomial is kx square minus x minus 4. P of minus 1, k of minus 1 square, minus of minus 1, minus 4. In place of x, we substituted the value as minus 1. P of minus 1 is equal to minus 1 square will give us 1 only, k negative negative positive plus 1 minus 4. So k minus 3. Because condition was p of minus 1 is equal to 0. So we are writing k minus 3 is equal to 0, k is equal to 3 is the final answer. Now next question, question number 10th, we have to expand using given identity, question is minus 2x 5y minus 3z whole square. Okay, three terms are there, a plus b plus c. Will apply the identity a plus b plus c whole square. Here I am writing the identity a plus b plus c square is equal to a square, b square, c square, 2ab plus 2bc plus 2ca. So minus 2x square 5y square minus 3z square plus 2ab, twice of first term into second term, plus 2bc second and third, twice of 5y into minus 3z, twice of ca, last term minus 3z into minus 2x, minus 2x square 4x square 5y whole square 25y square minus 3z square, negative negative positive 9z square, 2 2s are 4, 5s are 20, minus 20xy, 2 5s are 10, 3s are 30, minus 30yz, 2 3s are 6, 2s are 12, negative negative positive 12zx. This is the final answer. We have to, here we just have to find the value after expanding the identity. Answer is this one. Now next question. Okay, question number 11, we have to factorize this one. Look at here, a square minus b square, we can apply the identity a minus b into a plus b. 9x minus 1 by 5 whole square minus x plus 1 by 3 whole square. I am writing the identity here a square minus b square, a minus b into a plus b, which is equal to 9x minus 1 by 5 minus x plus 1 by 3 a minus b, and a means first term 9x minus 1 by 5 and b means second term plus x plus 1 by 3. Negative sign is there. When we will open the bracket, sign will be changed. 9x minus 1 by 5 minus x minus 1 by 3 first term, and the second term will do the arrangement of these two number 9x plus x minus 1 by 5 plus 1 by 3. This is 1 by 5. 9x minus x 8x minus 1 by 5, and here I am doing the calculation work. Minus 1 by 5 minus 1 by 3. 15 is the LCM. Minus 3 minus 5 minus 8 by 15. 8x minus 8 by 15 is the first factor, and the second factor is 10x. Again LCM is 15 minus 3 plus 5 minus 2 by 15. We can take 8 as common out from the first term, x minus 1 by 15, and 2 we can take as common out from the second term, 5x minus 1 by 15. 8 2s is 16. 16 into x minus 1 by 5 into 5x minus 1 by 15. This is the final answer. Okay, 12th question, simplification. Here we have to simplify a cube minus b cube. Here we are going to apply the identity. I am writing the identity first. A cube minus b cube is equal to a minus b into a square plus ab plus b square. Let the first term as a, let the second term as b. Now we are solving. Again I am writing just the given statement, this cube minus 2x plus 5y whole cube. Now I am doing the simplification part. Let the first term as a, let the second term be b. Now a minus b, first term minus second term, 2x minus 5y minus 2x plus 5y. This first term a minus b, and this is the first term. Here I can relate it. Now the second term, a square means first term square, 2x minus 5y square plus ab, 2x minus 5y into 2x plus 5y plus b square, 2x plus 5y square, which is equal to, we'll open the bracket, negative sign is there, so sign will be changed, 2x minus 5y minus 2x minus 5y. First term, we'll apply the identity again, a minus b whole square, a square plus b square minus 2ab, 4x square, 25y square minus 5 2s are 10, 2s are 20xy. First term, simplification of this first term. Now we are doing simplification of the second term. Again negative sign is there. Here was the first positive sign and here was the negative sign. First term, a square plus ab plus b square. Okay, a minus b, a plus b, a square minus b square, 4x square minus 25y square. Second term, simplification of the middle value. Now the last value, 2x plus 5y whole square, a plus b whole square, a square plus b square, 25y square plus 5 2s are 10, 2s are 20 xy. Last term, simplification of the last term. Okay. Now this 2x positive and negative will be cancelled, minus 10y a minus b, minus 10y into 4x square. We will do the arrangement. Just look at here, 4x square, 4x square and 4x square. 4 and 4, 8 and 4, 12. So 12x square, 25x square with positive sign, 25 with negative sign. These two terms will be cancelled. Cancellation of these two terms. This one will be left. 25y square minus 20xy plus 20xy. Cancelled. Cancellation of these two. Cancelled. So this one is our final answer. Yeah, this is our final answer. Okay, in this question, if the polynomial, first polynomial and the second polynomial, both the polynomial leave the same remainder when divided by z minus 3, we have to find the value of a. Given condition, two polynomials are given, it is divided by z minus 3 and leaving the same remainder. Okay, the first one here we have mentioned as p1 of z 2 are there, so the name of the first one is P1Z, because this is the polynomial is in Z, so I have written here P1Z. Suppose variable was X here, so I could apply here, I can write here P1 of X, but here variable is Z, so I have applied here P1 of Z, first polynomial and the second polynomial. Both the polynomial when divided by Z minus 3. So take Z minus 3 is equal to 0, Z is equal to 3, leaving the same remainder. Therefore the condition is first one P1 of 3 and P2 of 3 both will be equal. This is the given condition of same remainder. Okay. Now we are finding value of P1 of 3 will apply in place of Z will apply 3 in the first polynomial and then in the second polynomial as well. So P1 of 3 in place of Z we are writing 3. A into 3 cube, here I am applying the value. P1 of 3, A into 3 cube, 4 into 3 square, 3 into 3 minus 4. 3 into 3 into 3, 3 3s are 9, 3s are 27A, 3 3s are 9, 4s are 36. Next is 3 3s are 9 minus 4, 27A plus 36 plus 5, 36 plus 5 is 41. This is the value of the first polynomial. This is equation 1. Now we are solving second polynomial P2 3. Value of the second polynomial, add 3, 3 cube minus 4 into 3 plus A. Now value of the second polynomial, add 3. P2 3, 3 cube 27, 4 3s are 12, A, which is equal to 15 plus A, second equation. Now the condition is both the polynomial here, given condition was P1 3 is equal to P2 3, therefore the first equation will be equal to second equation. On comparing both the equation, 27A plus 41 is equal to 15 plus A. We'll transpose this A to the left side, 27A minus A, 41 minus 15, 26A, and here this one will be with the negative sign, this one as it is, minus 26. A is equal to minus 1 is the final answer. Question is very important. Again, I'm just telling how we have done the question. Two polynomials were given. Here we have written the first one as P1 of Z, second one as P2 of Z. Condition was of when this is divided by Z minus 3, leaving the same remainder. So the condition of the same remainder means remainder for the first polynomial and the remainder for the second polynomial. Remainder in both the cases are same. So P1 of 3 and P2 of 3 both are same. Here value of P1 at 3 in place of Z we can find here, we can write here 3. So the value of the first polynomial at 3, value of the second polynomial at 3. Because this was the given condition, so we can do the comparison. After comparison, final answer is A is equal to minus 1. Important question. Okay, we have to factorize this value. We can write this one as 5x whole cube. 5 5s are 25, 5s is 125. So this one I have written as 5x whole cube. And 343 as 7y whole cube. 7 7s are 49, 7 is 343. We are writing the identity here, a cube minus b cube, which is equal to a minus b, a square plus ab plus b square. We are applying the identity 5x minus 7y, a minus b, first term. Second term, a square, 5x square, ab, 5x into 7y plus b square, 7y square. 5x minus 7y, 25x square, 5 7s are 35, xy, 49y square. This is the final answer. Now next question. Question number 15. Okay, second part is also there. And 14th question, two parts are there. 3x square, 4y square, 25z square, 4 root 3 xy, 20yz and 10 root 3 zx. Further we have to factorize this also. Now look at here, 3x square. This term we can write as root 3x square. 4y, 2y whole square, 25z square, 5z square whole square. Now a square, b square, c square, 2ab. So twice of a is root 3x and b is 2y. 2ab, 2bc, b is 2y and c is 5z plus 2ca, c is 5z and a is root 3 into x. Now look at here, common variable is z. Look at here, common variable z. So we'll apply negative sign with the common variable. We'll apply negative sign here. Wherever z is coming, we'll apply negative sign with that variable. Okay. It will be root 3x square, 2y whole square, negative sign, minus 5z whole square. Okay, here we have to factorize na. Simply just look at here, a square, b square, c square, 2ab, 2bc, 2ca. Okay, just look at there, 2 2s are 4, 4 root 3, 2 2s are 4, 5s are 20, 20 yz, 2 5s are 10, 10 root 3. Now this is the right hand side of the identity, a square, b square, c square, 2ab, 2bc, 2ca. So we can write this one as a plus b plus c, because two signs are there, so positive as well as negative, plus of minus x, and then whole square of this term, a plus b plus c whole square. Whole square means term is occurring twice, so we can write this as twice, 2 times root 3x, 2y minus 5z. If you will not write this as twice, deduction will be of 0.5, so you have to mention this one as twice. This is the final answer. Next question. Okay, in 15th question, which axis is parallel to the line which the 2 points with the given coordinate lie? Here the given points are 4, 3 and 4 minus 2. Here I have taken the Cartesian plane, x-axis with positive sign, 0, x-axis with negative sign, y with positive and y with negative. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4 and minus 5. Positive in the above of y-axis in the upper portion, in the above half plane, minus 1, minus 2 and minus 3. Now first coordinate is 4, 3, x is 4, y is 3, will lie somehow here, 4 and 3, x is 4 and y is 3, 4 and minus 2, x is 4, y is minus 2. We have to find, here we just have to mention the coordinates 4 and 3, first one point of the location of the first point and the location of the second point is 4 and minus 2. But they are asking which axis is parallel to the line on which the 2 points with the given coordinate lie. These 2 points, when we will join these 2 points, we will get one line, and the question is which axis is parallel. So which axis is parallel to this line? If I join this line, this is the line, which axis is parallel? We can see easily from the given figure, y-axis is parallel to the line. When we will join this line, y-axis is the parallel to the given line. So answer is y-axis is parallel to the given line. Now next question, question number 16. Okay, the 16th question I'll explain you with the help of 15th question only. They are asking if the coordinate of 16th and 17th as well, if the coordinate of coordinate of P is given as minus 6, 3 and Q is given as minus 8 and 5. Then find abscissa of Q minus abscissa of P. One more thing I want to tell you, the first coordinate is called as abscissa, second coordinate is called as ordinate, and both the coordinates, both these value in the ordered form are called as coordinate. First value abscissa, second value ordinate, both the value coordinate. What they are asking here, abscissa of the P minus 6, ordinate 3, abscissa of Q minus 8, ordinate this is 5, and what is the question? Then find the abscissa of Q minus abscissa of P. Solution is abscissa of Q is minus 8, abscissa of P is negative of minus 6. So minus 8 plus 6 minus 2 is the answer. Now 17th also we can do with the help of this Cartesian plane. Cartesian plane is already there. I am not drawing it again. Here they are asking statement I am writing over here. It will be easy for you. Without plotting indicate the quadrants in which the given point lies. These points will lie. First part is ordinate minus 3 and abscissa, this is minus 2. This is the first part, and the second part is abscissa is 5 and ordinate this is minus 6. Abscissa is given as minus 2, ordinate minus 3. So I am writing this as in the ordered form, will gives us minus 2 and minus 3. First we will write the value of abscissa and then the ordinate, it is in the coordinate form. Again abscissa is 5 and ordinate is minus 6. So the ordered pair is 5 and minus 6. Just look at here in the same Cartesian plane, x is positive, y is positive, both positive in first quadrant, x is negative and y is positive. Negative, first value negative, second value positive. Whenever we have to mention, take the abscissa at the first place, ordinate at the second place. Second value, x is negative, y is positive in second quadrant. Now x is negative, y is negative, both negative in third quadrant. I haven't mentioned here quadrant. This is quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3 and quadrant 4. Okay. Now in the fourth quadrant, x is positive and y is negative. So x is positive and y is negative. Now just look at here. Negative, negative, both value negative, both value negative. In which quadrant? Answer is first part, answer is third quadrant. There is no need to plot it. And the second part, x is positive, y is negative. X is positive, y is negative. So in which quadrant? Answer is fourth quadrant. Second part, answer is fourth quadrant. Now next question. Again in 18th question, side of a triangle are given in this ratio. Its perimeter is also given. We have to find the area. Two subparts are there. In first part we have to find the area, and the second part we have to find the altitude to the longest side. Here the given sides are in this ratio. So when we'll omit the ratio, we'll take any variable. Let the sides be, we are introducing one variable. Let the sides are 25x, 17x and 12x. When we have taken, we omit this ratio, we have taken the variable, let the variable be x. Now the perimeter is given as 540. Given perimeter this is equal to 540 meter, and these two sides, these three sides also will gives us perimeter. So 25x plus 17x plus 12x is equal to 540 meter. 25 and 17 will gives us 42, 42 and 25 and 17, 42 and 12, 54. X is equal to 540 meter. So x is equal to 10. Therefore sides will be, sides are 250, 170 and 120. We have to find, in the first part we have to find the area. Formula for the area is, we'll find out the semi perimeter a plus b plus c by 2, 250 plus 170 plus 120 divided by 2, 250 plus 290 divided by 2, 400, 540 by 2, which is equal to 270. 270 is the semi perimeter. We are applying the formula of Heron's. With the help of Heron's formula, area of triangle is S minus A, S minus B, S minus C under the root, which is equal to 270. A is the first side, 250 is the first side, 170 is the second side, 270 minus 170, and third side is 120, 270 minus 120, which is equal to 270 into 20, 270 minus 250, 20 into 270 minus 170, 100, 270 minus 120, 150 under the root. We'll find out the factors here. We can write this as 9 into 3. Factor of 27 I am taking. This 2 I am writing as it is. This 10 I am writing as 2 5s. This 15 I am writing as 5 3s. Now zeros are 1, 2, 3 and 4. Total 4 zeros. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. 4 zeros. Multiplication. Now this 2 is occurring twice, 5 is occurring twice, this 3 is occurring twice, and this 9 also I can write as 3 3s. So we can write this as 3 into 3 into 2 into 5. This 10,000 I can write as, when we'll take the root, will gives us 100. Now calculation work, 3 3s are 9, 9 into 10, 2 5s are 10. 90, 90 into 100, 9,000. So the area is 9,000. Unit is meter. 9,000 meters square is the area required. Now the second part is also there. We have to find the altitude of the longest side, and formula of the area is half into base into height. Now they are saying we have to find the height along the longest side. Here the three sides are 250, 170 and 120. So the longest side is 250. We have to take 250 as the base. Half area is 9,000 and base is 250. Height we have to find. Multiplication of these two, 9,000 into 2 divided by 250 is equal to height. Do the calculation. Cancel. 5 5s, 5 1s, 5 8s, 0s, 5 3s, 3 is left, 5 6s, 36 into 2, 72. So the height is 72 centimeter or meter, 72 meter. This is the final answer. Two sub parts were there. Area is 9,000 meters square and the height is 72 meter. Again I am just telling you how we have done the question. Ratios were given. We have omit the ratios, taken the variable. Perimeter was given, not semi perimeter. Perimeter was given 540 x is the, here we find the value of x, applied the Heron's formula, area is this much and height is, perimeter of an isosceles triangle is given as 42 meter. Its base is given as 3 by 2 times each of the equal sides. Okay, base is 3 by 2 times of the equal sides. Here the two equal sides we have taken as A. So base is 3 by 2 of the equal side, 3 by 2A. Okay, and the perimeter is given as, here we'll write given perimeter is equal to 42 meter. According to the question, perimeter will be A plus 3 by 2A is equal to 42 meter. We'll take 2 as LCM, 2A plus 2A and 3A divided by 2 is equal to 42. 3 and 2, 5 and 2, 7A by 2 is equal to 42. Do cross multiply, 7A is equal to 2 into 42. A is equal to 2 into 42 by 7, 6 A is equal to 12. If A is 12, so the sides are 12 meter, no? Okay, 12 meter, 12 meter, and the third side is 3 by 2 time of A, 3 by 2 of 12. 2 6 A, third side is 3 6 A, 18, 12, 12 and 18. Now perimeter is already given, we are not finding again perimeter. When we will do the addition 12 and 12, 24 and 18 is equal to 42, but will not find because it is already given. Now we are applying the formula. With the help of Heron's formula, area of the triangle is S minus A, S minus B and S minus C under the root, where S is the semi-perimeter. S is equal to given perimeter divided by 2, which is equal to 21, where S is the semi-perimeter. Semi means half of the perimeter. So S is 21, we'll substitute the value, 21 minus 12, 21 minus 12, second value, and 21 minus 18 under the root. 21 minus 12, 9, 21 minus 18, 3 under the root. Prime factors of 20, 1 is 3 into 7, 9 is 3 3s are, again 9 is 3 3s are, last term is 3. Here 3 is occurring twice, again occurring twice, and 1, 2 and 3. 3 is occurring thrice time, it's occurring twice. So 3 into 3 into 3 root 7. 7 is occurring here single time, so it's in the root. 3 3s are 9, 3s are 21, root 7, and the unit was meter. This is the area required. Okay, last question of the assignment. Here it is given equilateral triangle whose, here the equal side are 2x, 2x and 2x, and the given value is x root 3, which is equal to 48. So x is equal to 48 by root 3, which is equal to 16 into 3 by root 3. This 3 we can write as root 3 into root 3. So x is equal to 16 root 3. Equal sides are 2x. So 16 into 2 root 3, or simply we can write as 2 into 16 root 3. 2 into value of x. 16 2s are 32 root 3. This is the side of equilateral triangle. Now the area of the equilateral triangle is root 3 by 4 into side square. Side is here 32 root 3 square, which is equal to root 3 by 4, 32 root 3 into 32 root 3. This root 3 into 3 we can write as 3, and this one as it is, root 3 as it is, divided by 4. 4 8s are Now here we can split this term as 8 into 3 into 32, 32 as 8 fours root 3 as it is 64, 8 8s are 64, 4s are 256, 256 into 3 is 6 3s are 18, 5s are 15 and 1 16, 3 2s are 6 and 1 7, 768 root 3 and the unit is centimeter square. This is the final answer. Okay. Do the question. Questions are easy. All the questions are done for you. Just do the revision. Okay.